Hello, my name is Mark Bartold with Beebo Analytics. Today is May 25, 2023. I wanted to discuss the debt ceiling. On June 1st is the deadline, and as usual, the politicians like to go back and forth and use it as a political football. But the reality is, it's just a credit card bill that's due. Everything's been charged. Services have been provided, and they're looking for their money. Uh, since 1970, there's been the raising of the debt ceiling, except for during the Bill Clinton administration. The last 4 years of his administration, they were able to have a surplus, and they had Republicans' help in Congress. They were able to hammer out deals to balance the budgets, if not also had surplus. It was like totally unexpected on most cases. And, they had the Welfare to Work program. They had 100,000 police officers on the streets, which is just like creating 100,000 jobs, like overnight. Now imagine 100,000 manufacturing jobs. We're just going to create that overnight. Here you go, right? Boom. It was a major increase in activity just putting police officers on the street. And it helped businesses out too, because crime was kind of a little bit crazy there. They had the crime bill, which I think that's where it was in. And Joe Biden, has gotten in a lot of trouble for backing that bill, but in his own party. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's politics going back and forth about the debate's been going on for months over and signifying nothing. There's just nothing to discuss. It's a bill. You got to pay it. For services that you can debate during the year about. Not just over the bill. And then like regular debate can be done in committee, and that's how you can figure out all these things that you don't want. I mean, to put it in more context, you get a credit card bill that you and your spouse share, right? And you got this charge from McDonald's with 2 Happy Meals and a number 7 combo or whatever the number 7 combo is. And then there's a Netflix charge that comes out every month, right? You got some vase from a boutique shop that's on there, and then you've got your new golf clubs. You got a down payment on, that the spouse doesn't know about though, right? And so you debate whether or not you're going to bring it up the bill, like, hey, it's we're going to need more money. We're going to have to raise our debt limit on that credit card, to pay for my clubs, really. But should I bring it up or yeah, why not? Let's bring it up, right? So, all right. Well, the Netflix has usually got some good movies, right? So you're not going to kick that off. And then, the vase, yeah, she can return that vase, right? So you say, all right, yeah, you got to return the vase. Yeah, good luck with that, right? And then golf clubs, well, I mean, you got to have the golf clubs, right? And then the Happy Meals, well, the kids already ate the food. And they got those little toys and all that. What are you going to do? Have them return the little toys? That's not going to happen. So, basically what's happened? Nothing. You haven't been able to do nothing. It's all the same. All the debate. You might not like some of it. You might like some of it. But at the end of the day, it's a bill. It's been paid. I mean, it hasn't been paid, but you've already got the stuff. You could return the vase if you could, right? And maybe they do, right? Maybe in the national scheme of things, they're able to return a vase out of 100 things that are out there, But guess what? Nothing's changed. The bill is still the same. It's got to be paid. The longer you debate about it, the more interest it's paid. That's going to be the more interest that's going to be accumulated on top of it. On a national level of what bills we got to pay. Huntington Ingalls makes our largest ships They make like the aircraft carriers. They made two aircraft carriers at the same time. The Ford class carriers, right? They make our nuclear submarines. Okay, you're gonna say, hey, yeah, sorry, we're not gonna pay for our subs and carriers and all this, right? Then you got Boeing aircraft. I mean, the Dow Jones Industrial. There's 30 companies. Boeing's on there. All right. You're gonna say, sorry, yeah, we're not gonna pay. You know, we need those gas carrying airplanes to refuel our fighter planes and bombers. We got to have them Boeing planes. We were going to tell them, no, we're good. Yeah, we're going to default on you, even though you guys are probably going to be out of business in a week if we don't pay you. Because Boeing is not exactly a profit-making company. I mean, if you look at their financials, they're upside down. Like if you sold everything they had, they'd still owe money, But they're in like 26 plus states, so they're not going anywhere. They have to stay, much like the not needed bases type thing. Different governors. A lot of jobs out there. You got the ACA healthcare, post office, the Veterans Services Meals on Wheels. You got all millions of other type stuff. You're going to go through this long list of 10 million pages to try and say, oh, I don't want this or I don't want that. Come on. That's what committees are for. They got like hundreds of committees going over stuff. That's where you do it. You don't do it when the bills due. Oh, here it is. Yeah, too late, buddy. The bills due. You got to pay the bills. Pfizer, Moderna, all them millions of vaccines and test kits. There's some leftovers. Yeah, we paid for it, or we ordered them. But now we got to pay for them, right? Maybe we won't. Basically, it's the politics of doing nothing that's happening. 2 months of bickering over the bill. For 2 months, they could have been discussing how to balance the budget, like Bill Clinton and the Republican Congress did. I mean, come on, guys. Let's get it together. You want to balance the budget. You don't want to pay a surplus? Then balance the budget. Figure it out. You got a government accounting office. You got a congressional budget office. Use them. There are a bunch of accountants sitting around that pick numbers around. You can figure it out. It's easy, really. Actually, it's very easy. Raising taxes, tough call, right? But you could raise it on the rich, right? I mean, Daniel Jones of the New York Giants just got $40 million a year contract for 4 years, $160 million. Yeah, you think he could afford $1 million here or there, right? The guys, let's face it. I mean, they can, that's how the rich paid for World War II. I mean, they were paying 90%. I mean, Reagan comes in, he cuts taxes his first term by 20% on the rich. 20%, it's ridiculous. Like they're the ones paying all the taxes, and now it's like you cut their taxes, and so you cut the revenue. Then the second term he does it again. It's like, oh, why do we have deficit? Because of Reagan. 2 tax cuts that decimated our revenue stream to pay our bills, and then increase defense spending to make Russia or the Soviet Union at the time collapse, right? And then Ukraine shows up, and Poland, and everyone's independent now. It's unreal, really. Chapter 13 of my book, Middle Class Jobs, talks about Social Security and tax law, where the main sentence in that chapter is taxes pay for stuff. And they do. They pay our bills. We need tax revenue. Every time they say tax cut, it's like, well, what are you going to lose? Defense spending goes up every year. And they can't even audit the Pentagon. It's impossible to audit. They can't figure it out. IRS, let's cut the agents on IRS that are investigating fraud. Does that make sense to you? Really? I mean, I'm just a small time guy, you know. I mean, oh, I'm afraid of being audited. It's like they ain't gonna find nothing. I mean, what are they gonna find? Oh, you didn't put down a paperclip. I mean, come on, you know. I mean, audit a guy, you know, that's a billionaire. He's gonna have millions to find, millions. Uh, anyway, the debt ceiling, for the most part, it's going to be raised, just like it has since 1970. If you really want to balance the budget and not have to pay deficit spending, then call your politician and demand a balanced budget. Bill Clinton did it. Republicans, Congress. You know, let's get it together, people. Thank you for your time.